This is Ralph with 13 Peppers, and my garden is finally starting to produce, and I get to do my first pepper tastings of the year. Now, when you grow a lot of different hot peppers, they do seem to come on at different times. Some of the lighter peppers that you grow come on a little bit earlier, and then some of the super hot seem like they take all season before they ripen up. But today I'm going to go over two of my early producers. The first one is going to be a Serrano pepper, and what I have here is a Dwarf Variety. The other one I have is a Shishito Pepper. And this is the first time I'm growing them this year. I've actually bought them typically out of the store and fried them up, but I've never grown them for myself, so this will be the first time this year. Now with these pickings, this would be probably what I would call my first true pickings of the year on these peppers. I've had a few peppers come on throughout, and I've picked them, ate them, but nothing as a substantial harvest. Now, as for picking the plants, I did, when I first put them in the ground and started growing them, go ahead and take all the flowers off that I found, because I wanted to make sure all the energy was being produced into the plant to actually grow the plant as large as it can be. So now I'm going to go ahead and start off with my Serrano peppers. Now, like I said, this is actually a dwarf variety I've grown for a couple years. The flavor on these are just like what you can get at the store, and I know they can be picked up at Kroger's, Walmart, a bunch of the different produce markets out there. So you can actually pick them up, and they, at that point, they're probably about 4 or 5 times the size of these. But I was able to get a hold of a couple dwarf varieties that a local gardener was growing, and they've actually worked out great. So really liked what they are so far. But with these things, they've actually originated in Mexico around the Hidalgo area. I apologize on the pronunciation. And they are so named, I guess, for the mountain range that is around that area. So, but this is also one of the highest used pepper plants, or second highest used pepper plants in Mexico. So it's very, very popular. So with the flavor and everything, especially beginning of the year, I like making a quick hot sauce, because all the ones I've done over the last 6 months have all come from frozen peppers. And to actually finally make a fresh hot sauce is really, really nice. And what I would normally do is let them ripen up to like what this red color is here, and then that's what I make my sauce. You can use them with green, like when you pick them up and buy them in a store, they're pretty much a green color because that's how they're normally used, but I'm kind of biased to a red hot sauce, so I usually wait and let them ripen up. So, but what we're going to do here now is we're going to go ahead and cut one open and take a look at it. Now with this pepper and everything right here, you can actually tell got a nice look and everything to it. The walls on here are like semi-thick on the walls. The seeds on here, for being still an immature pepper and things, does have a few seeds and a nice thick placenta and everything here, and that's where it's starting to get the majority of its heat. So once again, as you say with everything, if you're not used to hot peppers, please wear gloves, because the last thing you want to do is actually get this pepper juice all over your hands and then touch your eyes or anything else with that. So, but with that too, and the walls on this thing being a medium thickness, actually a very, very nice pepper. So at this point, let's go ahead and let's try this next one. Oop. Try not to cut my finger. Now, with this one here, this one is a lot juicier. So, and I don't know if it's just because of the red color or not. Like I said, this is what I typically let them ripen up into. But with that too, you can actually see a lot more seeds that are actually being produced on here too. Everything on here is nice and juicy, and actually I can see pools of juice as I've cut this thing open. So that just holds an incredible amount of flavor right there. So very, very, very nice looking. Average seeds in this one, you have probably about 20 so seeds for the actual size, but the walls on this do seem a little bit thicker than what they do when the green version of the pepper. But other than that, it's a nice looking pepper. Now for the fun part, let's go ahead and let's try one of the peppers here. Now, I did get a comment on one of my videos saying that I was not eating the pepper correctly because he said I took out the seeds and the placenta and that would not make it as hot, which he's absolutely correct. It would not make it as hot. Going back in the video, I don't recall if I did or not because I can't really tell in the video, but as I stated and replied to him, I'm going to show you the whole pepper and everything right before I eat it, so that way there'd be no question. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to start off with the green one here. Now the Scoville units on this can be anywhere between 10,000 and 25,000. It really depends on where you're growing it, the water concentrate, how you water it, grow it, and everything else. But let's go ahead and let's give this one a try. Now with the pepper, the feel and everything like that, I love the taste of it. You do kind of get like an all around mouth burn, mostly on the top of the tongue, and then as you're chewing and swallowing, it kind of goes back a little farther. But it's an all around good burn because it has not just the burn, but the flavor and everything of it. Really nice. I actually like these a lot better than the jalapeno, especially when we're doing cooking, chili, or whatnot, or especially salsa. These are awesome in salsa. So, but I mean, it's an all-around good pepper. You got some nice crisp sweetness to it, but it doesn't. But what it doesn't have, like some of the other peppers, is it doesn't have like a earthy like taste. Sometimes when you bite into a pepper that's green, you kind of get that earthy kind of taste to it. But this doesn't really have that to me, and has a really, really good flavor. With that too, the heat and everything's already starting to dissipate, but it's not like a pow bang. It's just like a constant kind of feel, kind of burn, heat level and everything too, which is really, really nice. So very, very well. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and eat a red one because I normally make sauces out of this, but all the years I've been eating these, I've never really done a red and a green one to see if there's really a difference. So let's go ahead, let's give this one a try. Huh. That was something I didn't really notice before. With the red one, you don't have the same amount of crunch as you do the green one, but it almost had like a sweeter taste. It had about the same heat level, not much difference, but the actual pepper itself just seemed fuller, like it had more flavor and stuff. So I'm gonna try another one here. Yeah. And to be honest with you, I think that when they are green, I think that's probably the peak of the heat, because the red one and everything, I love the flavor, love the juiciness, is what I kind of make my sauces out of early season, but the heat level does not seem to be as high. It's still similar on that, but like if the first one I ate was say 15,000, this one would probably be 10,000. Still warm, but there's a little bit of a difference between the red and green. Hey, learned something new today. So, but yeah, wonderful, wonderful peppers, and you should try them. Now, the next pepper I'm going to go over here is another member of the same family as the Serrano, and it is the Shishito pepper. Now, this pepper right here, this is the first year I've actually grown this pepper. Typically, when I wanted to actually fry up a pepper for something for dinner, I'd run down to our international market and I'd pick them up there. They have them all year long and everything there. So, but I decided to try to grow them first time this year. Now, when I was looking up why the name is Shishito, apparently that is a Japanese word for the head of a lion. And it says that the tip of these peppers here are supposed to represent or be very similar to a head of a lion. Unfortunately, I don't see it, or at least I don't see it in the peppers I've grown or the other ones I've actually picked up, but hey, might just be the ones that I have with me right now, but it is an interesting name of why it actually is called that. So let's go ahead, let's cut a few of them open and get to look at them. Okay. Now with this pepper here and everything, same thing, it got some medium thickness on the walls itself. The placenta and everything seem to be nice and thick. With this being an immature pepper, it has about roughly 15 or so seeds that are in here. So not a bad looking pepper, and just because the thickness and everything on the walls, that's where you're going to get a lot of your pepper flavor. So very, very nice looking pepper. Now let's go ahead and cut open this red one and see if we have any kind of difference in here. Now typically this pepper I don't let get red, I usually eat them green. So, but this one right here, the walls and everything on the pepper itself, they look to be about the same thickness, so just of medium consistency. Same thing with the seeds, not too terribly much production on the seeds, but combined, same thing, about 15 to 20 seeds. So not a bad haul. Placenta on this one seems about as consistent as the other one. Now the difference between the red and the green, not really much difference. They both seem juicy and plump, so I don't see much of a difference between the ripe and the unripe. I've always used them unripe, and that's the way I actually cook them here. So, but overall, not a bad looking pepper. Now with this particular pepper, the heat level is nominal. You're only looking of maybe 1 to 500 on the Scoville scale. Hardly any heat at all, but makes up for it in the nice flavor. Okay, now they do say, when I was doing all my reading and research on the actual pepper itself, that 1 out of every 10 will actually have some heat with it, and all of a sudden you can get a nice sharp bite from a pepper. But I've cooked these things and I've probably eaten 50 or 60 at least this year total, and I've not got a hold of one. So either I'm lucky or that percentage is a little bit off, but hey, you never know. And like it depends on everything else, depends on how it's grown, the weather, humidity, heat level, everything like that. That could actually be true. I've just not experienced it yet. But with these, I'm not actually going to eat this raw. I'm going to show you exactly how I fix these. For the Shishito peppers, you can actually put them on an open grill if you like, but the way I like doing it here is I like using my cast iron, and we're going to go ahead and let that heat up here real fast. And as that's heating up, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of oil here. Not too much, just a little bit to coat the bottom of the pan. Now I do go with like a canola oil over like an olive oil, just basically off of smoke point, because canola has a higher smoke point than olive oil. So let's go ahead and get that warmed up and everything in the pan here. Our pan is nice and hot, ready to go. Let's go ahead and let's get our peppers in. Woo. These won't take long to cook at all. Now, some people, when they cook it like this, will poke a fork through these peppers. That way they won't actually blow up and explode. But I don't mind them actually cooking up, puffing up, and then cracking open. Doesn't matter to me because they're all going to be eaten. I'm going to let them cook until they get a nice little char around it, which I'll show you it here, and then they'll be ready to go. At this point, this is just about where I like them. And I am going to add, right now, we're going to add some garlic powder. Get that mixed up here. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to top it off with some sea salt. Now it's time to take that off and plate that up. Now the Shishito Peppers makes an excellent side dish. The garlic and the salt, I mean, it just brings out the flavor, which is excellent. So with this, you can just pick it up by the stem, pop it in. Excellent, excellent flavor. I like the taste, I like the texture. You should make this so you enjoy it yourself. I want to say I appreciate you very much, and if you like what you've seen here today, please subscribe to the channel. It does help me out greatly. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook at 13 Peppers by Ralph, or you can also go to my website, which is 13peppersbyralph.com. There I host all the videos there from YouTube, plus I sell the seeds that I grow out in my garden each and every year. So with that, once again, I want to say thank you very much, and you all have a very good day.